A show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on JTV. This show is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon Spa Nail and Barbershop, the Wellness Center, Medical and Behavioral Health Clinics, Ticely Cross Deliciously Smooth Cider, HOV Medical, and Digicel. Sign up for Digicel Plus Home Light Bundles, faster internet, movies, and sports. Good afternoon, team again. Could you tell us what is being done currently in terms of lighting up districts across the territory?
Okay, the ministry or parent ministry has given us some instructions and funds to light up, put some street lights on in various parts of Tortola. Earlier this year, we did something in the 2nd district, and we also currently are doing some street lighting in the 6th district, the 7th district, and the 5th district. Specifically, the areas in Pazé, Purcell, Bellevue, and Cotton Bay, Sabbath Hill. We also have some street lighting that will be done in Johnson Govt, going to Long Trench, going up the hill there. And also we have some lights that are going up in the Brandywine Bay area. The ministry has been working with us on this for a few months now, but they finally transferred the funds and given specific instructions, and we are doing our best to get that done as soon as possible.
Why those specific areas and districts?
I suspect those are where the requests came from. Like I say, we get those instructions from the ministry, and I'm sure that they had discussions with the various district representatives. Once we got the instructions and the funds, we did those. We don't know specifically why those places were chosen, but knowing the dynamics, I suspect it's just from requests from the district representatives.
Okay, are these new lighting structures as a result of Hurricanes Irma and Maria, or these are generally new lighting fixtures being installed, have never been in existence before?
I know in some areas there were never street lights in some of these areas. In others, I know there's some reinstatements. But generally speaking, there's been concerns from my minister specifically that there are some areas in the territory that it's too dark at night. And I think in partnership with the various district representatives, he's trying to alleviate those concerns.
Okay. Can you tell us how much this costs?
I prefer not to say at this point. I prefer for the minister to do that.
Okay. In the process of doing these lighting, are there any disruptions that may cause
In most of the cases, no. We might have in 1 or 2 cases, maybe going up Johnson Govt, where we need to probably connect a transformer. And maybe in Brandywine Bay as well. But generally speaking, no. You'll just see the lights come on. Yeah.
Okay. It seems that most of my questions would have been directed to the minister.
But we have the two. We have Simone, who's the deputy, and Leroy, who's actually the T&D guy. So you could ask him specific questions. Simone normally signs the checks. And Leroy actually does the work. So
who can tell me about the time frame at which this project is being executed? How much time you would spend in District 6, District 5, whatever?
Well, to give you a specific time frame, that might be a little difficult because it's not everything that is directly in our control. For instance, like the lighting, to get it on the island, it takes couple other entity. Presently, we are trying to clear some light from the port, which hopefully we might get it next week. But what we had in our stores, we started the exercise. So we did some today, we did some last week. So hopefully we're gonna continue next week when we get the light. But our aim is to get it done by the end of this month and to make sure everybody feel comfortable coming up the Christmas season, that we have proper lighting.
Okay.
And then you have to say more.
In terms of expectations, when people see BVIEC, they think it's BVIEC. You would have cleared the air that it's a project being done through the Ministry of Communications and Works. Generally, is BVIEC responsible for installing lights?
Well, yes, we are. But our responsibility begins after the approval of the ministry. So BVIEC cannot in themselves install a light without the requisite permission from the ministry, because the ministry is responsible for all street lighting. We are also responsible, of course, for the maintenance of the street lights. So on the instructions of the ministry, then we go up and we install the street lights, and then we have the responsibility of maintaining and replacing. If any lights are damaged, BVIEC will replace the street lights.
Okay, so we do understand that in this instance, this request was made by the ministry. Does BVIEC in itself go out and survey and determine where needs to have lighting?
If it is requested of us, then, like I said, from the ministry, then we would go out and assess an area and give a proposal to the government to install streetlights. But for the most part, most requests come from the public to the minister. He sends his approval to BVIEC, and we go and we execute as we normally do and maintain. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So much for that. Let's get a quick update on the power situation at Yas Van Dyke. We see that despite all the efforts that you've been putting in, the generator goes down from time to time as I see the correspondence going out. But we would have received a statement that was sent out by the district representative, Honorable Melvin McTurnbull, indicating that there are some plans in place, initiatives of yours to alleviate as much as possible those prolonged outages if they should occur, especially in the upcoming season. If you want to share on that for me.
Yeah, so I guess the first thing I should say is that we are not very comfortable with the situation at Yas Van Dyke. However, it's unavoidable. We have one sea cable, subsea cable that goes over there. It was damaged. Based on the damage that we saw, it's obvious to me that it was the rough seas on the north side. And we will, in the coming month or so, as the season begins to come up, we think that it's necessary for us to actually station at least one or two people over there. We don't want to have a situation, if the situation isn't fixed by then, which we believe it will be, that you have, for example, New Year's, Foxy's New Year's, and the power goes off, and then we have to take another 3 hours. That's, in our view, would be unacceptable, right? So beyond trying to minimize the inconvenience to the domestic customers, we know that there are commercial enterprises over there that require consistent and reliable power. So if we don't have the subsea cable fixed by then we have no other choice but to make the investment and keep technicians, mechanics, probably a lineman or two over there.
Okay. And since our last conversation, I know we spoke about some other plans that you guys are going to start a conversation about. Any of those conversations started as to a more advanced system for Yas Van Dyke, an additional cable, sub-cable, or...
Yeah, I was actually having some offline conversations today about that. That has to be a cost-benefit analysis. I guess the easiest answer would be just another subsea cable, but I'm sure that'll run us several $1 million. You also have the option of renewable sources over there that we could connect to our grid once the subsea cable is in. So we just need to make sure that whatever we do is the most efficient and effective solution. So I don't want to actually say what we'll come down on and decide. But obviously, if it costs us $10 million, we can't pass that cost on to Yasson Dyke, right? So it'll have to be spread over. Well, we can't raise the rates, that's the other thing. So, well, we won't be raising the rates soon. So, we have to take all of those things into consideration. But, it's important. We are not very happy at all whenever someone is out of power. So, and Yasson Dyke, some would say, is a sleeping giant. So we need to get prepared for what we could see as economic growth on the island. And in considering that, we need to make some decisions on our side.
Okay, this what just came to my mind when you said renewable energy. What's happening with Anigada and the renewable?
Well, a lot is happening, so I'll let Simone, because she's actually supervising that job.
So currently, the subcontractor is on site, and they have approximately, let's say, 40 to 50% of the panels installed, along with inverters. So the project is moving along very swiftly, and we still have in mind the last quarter of 2024, but we could still give ourselves some more room and say, hopefully, by then or the first quarter of 2025. But I'm anticipating its completion still at the last quarter of this year.
Okay, and in terms of the current generating capacity and delivery, how is that going with Anigada? No problems?
I wouldn't say no problems. We have the generating capacity. But what we don't have at this time is redundancy, and that's what we're working on. So we'll get that fixed once we get the space on island. But in terms of capacity, we have the capacity. It's just a redundancy issue that we need to deal with.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I think that's about it. You think you have to get anything?
Mr. Abraham, you have anything you want to say?
I just want to reach out to the public and let them know concerning street lighting. If you come across a light that is not functioning the way it should, don't hesitate to report to us, that we could go out and look after it and make sure it's lighted.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.
Plug into Digicel Plus, and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.